So this morning we are going to be going over Buyside, and just kind of want to walk you through quickly what Buyside is, what you can do with Buyside, and then we can go and check it out to see what your consumers see, what your clients see, and then on the other side of getting into the portal. So to get started, this is one of the best programs I believe that PMZ has invested in, and it's the one that I'm like the most excited about because I feel like it really makes a big difference in your business. So with the buy side tool, it's going to help you capture more seller leads, win more listings, and then close those deals quicker. Okay. And then you're going to capture seller leads by using the home valuation page, right? So by marketing that on your social media, in your email signature, doing a postcard campaign, and just letting all your clients know that they can go onto your onto your page and run what's your home worth evaluation. And then you'll win more listings, mostly through the buyer's market analysis, but just all that data that the buy side gives us as far as how many buyers are out there, what they're looking for, all that criteria. So, and then you can use the buyer market analysis to, at your listing presentations, you can print them and mail them to clients. You can go ahead and show it's just a good way to show your sellers like what those buyers are looking for. And then you'll close deals quicker. And I'm sure everybody here sees these emails coming through almost daily. And they're just, new coming soon listings hitting the market. I feel like these are really great for the type of market that we're in right now, where homes are just flying off the shelves, basically. So this is a great way to get your buyers into these listings before they even hit the market.
Right. And for a sidebar on this, a lot of what I've heard is like, oh, well, I'm going to put it in next week, or I'm going to do this a couple days before it's ready. As soon as you have a listing, don't be afraid to put it in Buyside. The more that the clients feel that, hey, I'm going to get a chance to go into something, it really does matter. So the moment you get a signed listing, this should be in your checklist, right? Getting it prepared for the market, getting it into Buyside immediately. That way we can get it out to as many clients as possible, so you can show your sellers how amazing it is when you have 25 people day one.
Yeah. And then this is something, again, do it as soon as you have that listing agreement signed. And then what it'll do, it starts notifying all the other agents who have buyers that match this criteria, right? So even if you send the coming soon blast, on a Monday, and maybe a buyer gets submitted or entered into the system Tuesday, Wednesday, it's still going to match them up and let you know there's a possible match there, right? Has anybody used this? Anybody been able to connect their buyer into a listing before it hit the market? I've heard a lot from some agents. I don't know if there's anybody on our call today that wants to share their experience.
I think, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay. I think where this has been helpful to me is, when we get these notifications, is being able to, if you think it may meet the criteria of a buyer that you're working with, then you would immediately, reach out to that agent.
Mhm.
It happens, last year it happened to me where, immediately after I hit the email went out, I had an agent that came in and, we made arrangements for them to go and take a look at the property before it hit the market, like a couple of days before. And he had a buyer submitted an offer, and it was the better offer that I received. So, it kind of helps, let the agents that you work with at PMC that, you have this listing coming up, and if they have anybody that's interested, just to reach out to you. And then, personally, and most of the agents that I work with are really willing to work with you early on.
Yeah. And how great that you were able to get somebody in there before it went on the market, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I would also say, if you have buyers just sitting there ready to go, enter them in here. And I think Alondra's going to show one of mine that we're struggling to get into a house. But Leslie Nelson, I know she's not on here. She sold 3 off-market properties in River Heights. Now they weren't from Buyside specifically, but I do know that we all have buyers that are looking for very specific neighborhoods and areas. How great would it be if we're all putting in our buyers at the right time, our sellers in there, that we're connecting clients well before they have to have 20 people trapezing through their house as Easter rolls around or something like that, because we're using the system effectively.
Mhm. Exactly. So how many of you guys have buyers that you're working with? You guys, is there like a hands up tool that you can do around here, right?
Yeah, let me click my little hands up.
Let's see if I can see that. Yeah, so, and then how many of you guys have entered all of the buyers that you're working with into Buyside? So is there a couple is there at least one buyer or two that you guys can enter into there? Yeah, so that'll be your homework for today, is enter those buyers in there. And we'll get more into details on how to enter those buyers and what that process looks like. But I just want to make sure that you guys leave here and you enter your buyers and you feel confident about entering the buyers in here. Okay. So different ways that you can market your home worth page is on your like Facebook and Instagram. So this is kind of like the cover photo on my Facebook page. It has like what's your home worth, and then my call to action has it'll redirect you to the home valuation page, right? Other things that you guys can do is on your Instagram, if you have something like Linktree, you can go on there and then always just have the first option be what's your home worth. And then correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, do you have that already set up on yours, right?
Yeah, you can go through my Instagram and do that if
I
we
didn't
want.
get a screenshot of that because I didn't think about it in time, but if you guys
I'll
are
pull it up and
looking for it,
show everybody while you're talking.
yeah, so you guys can check out Nick's Instagram, and then he has that option on there that you guys can look at. So these are different social media pages that are different social media images that we've created that you can use and share them on Instagram and Facebook. If you guys are looking for something else, please contact me. I'm more than happy to create more for you guys if you guys are using these. And then the last thing that I'm really excited about that we've been working for, and this is kind of like a sneak peek into what's coming next, is just listed postcards. We're actually going to introduce new templates that start marketing the just listed and just sold postcards, but also have that home valuation page. So this is kind of an example of one that we're working on. You'll see it'll have like, you know, just sold, has all the information of the home just sold, and it's saying like your neighbor's home just sold for 400,000. Are you wondering how much your home is worth? Go ahead and scan the QR code and you'll receive 3 instant estimates.
Yes,
So I don't think that QR code works, so don't go ahead and try it. This is just a template that we're using. I don't actually know where it goes to, but but your clients, or I mean, anybody who's getting these in the mail will be able to just pull up the phone. Everybody's very comfortable with QR codes now, thanks to the pandemic. So this is just a really great way to use that to our advantage.
Mm-hmm. And again, so one of the things that I think you can do is you don't always have to do this with just a just listed one. Like, yeah, PMZ is going to help provide that. But if you want to send this out to say, you know, your home may be worth more than you think, scan this QR code to find out. There's no reason that you can't do that in your own home neighborhood around your house, right? You don't have to wait to get a listing or sell a house to do something as cool as this.
Yeah. So this is just something that we're going to be doing for that, and you're already getting them for free. So it's just another way for you to capture those leads. Okay, so let's me stop my share. Now let's go into a page. Do you guys see this page okay? Yeah, so this is an example of what the home valuation page looks like. So essentially, if somebody is clicking on that link from social media, or they are scanning that QR code, they're going to be redirected to this page here. So as a homeowner, I can go in here enter my address, and then I will get a report of what's going on with my house, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and just type in address.
Who's that ugly guy?
Okay, so now that we're on here, you'll see that I was on Nick's home valuation page, so everything on here is going to be branded to Nick specifically. This whole page has been set up strategically to capture that seller lead, right? To get that information so that you can reach out and ask them if they have any questions, and there's some cool things that you guys can do. So the first thing is, if they claim that they're the owner, if you click on here, they'll have to verify the ownership, either by Facebook, Google, or LinkedIn. If they want to make any changes to the property, let's say it was a 4-bed instead of a 3, you click on this here, and then again, you'll have to verify your ownership. You can sign up to receive monthly updates on this property. So every month you'll get a report saying what the home estimate is, which is really great. One of the things is, like, if you have investments in stocks, you get a monthly statement every month letting you know how they're doing, right? And this is, can be way more valuable. And we usually don't know anything about what it's being valued at, right?
So Alondra just gave every one of you a script when you call your clients and you're doing your sphere calls to say, hey, if you own any stocks on E-Trade or you have retirement accounts, you're getting monthly updates. I got this really cool tool that'll do that for you as well. Do you care if I sign you up for it?
Yep, sign them up for it too. Awesome.
Yeah,
So,
do it for them. Make it easy.
Yeah.
I mean, if your clients are as lazy as I am, do it for them. They're not going to need to go to the website. You can put their email address in for them, and then you can call them and follow up. And then they're getting emails.
I would ask them too. So I wouldn't just sign them up automatically. So that it doesn't look
yes,
like
100%.
So just let them know it's coming. And sometimes you can say things strategically where it's like you're not really asking, you're letting them know, but they feel like you're asking,
That public data one is a little troublesome.
Yes. So it'll give you a street view or a Google image of the street view, and then it starts giving you some estimates, right? And there is a lot of different information. First, we have Zillow, which is, whether you love Zillow or hate it, people know it and trust it, unfortunately. So it's on here. We're not shying away from it. And there are some really big differences in these numbers, right? And that's kind of what we not necessarily want, but we're going to capitalize that. We're going to say, okay, are you confused? Yeah, this is confusing. This is why you need a real estate agent. Go ahead and contact Nick for a free CMA, right? So again, if they click on here, it'll send that email to Nick, letting them know they're requesting more information.
Alondra, so right now, all she did was enter an address, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to show them where that lead goes, that you don't actually have to enter anything else? And now I can see that you did this?
Yeah. So
okay,
we'll go in, as soon as I entered this address, you would have already gotten an email, and we'll go into your record so that we can see what that looks like. What's the condition of the property? It's automatically it needs work, because most homeowners are going to want to slide that over to good or excellent. Again, if I want to do that, it has to verify ownership. Next is just information on what the buyers are searching for. So this is kind of a heat map. The darker areas, it's the more sought after, not so dark. That yellow is least sought after. And then it breaks it down.
Sidebar, no charge before you scroll down.
Yeah, go ahead.
So if you're on a Mac and you press Shift Command 4, you can take a screenshot, take a little picture of this, and now you have the perfect little ad to send out those cards we mentioned a second ago. Mm-hmm. On the postcard, you put this little heat map up, and then on the other side say, these areas have the most active buyers with the most increase in equity. Scan this code to find out if your home's in it.
Yeah.
That's a free right there. Well, not free, but it's a postcard that you can do. The ad was made in about 30 seconds. The cards go out maybe for $50. There you go. And I guarantee you're going to get a lead or two. You had a question, Chuet?
Yeah. I just want to go back with the evaluation. When we enter in the address, and then they will show the three price, Zillow, public data, and home evaluation. And is it great to have those? Because sometimes I use the information for my listing. What I try to have a suggestion is you see where the public data, the price only 262, where 0, 517 and home evaluation 479. The gap is so big, the price range is so big. And I know that you intention to put 262 because you want people contact us to explaining. But sometimes people don't want to contact us, and they just like disappear that we always try to get them and they don't trust us. What I want to suggest is, can you lift the price up a little bit between 517 and 262? Can you raise the number a little higher? Can you adjust a little bit so people can see like it's confused, but it's not really confused. Like if you put around 400,000 and then this side 479, this side 517, they kind of like accepted.
So you
if they
can't
really want to
change.
sell, they still contact us. So my suggestion is, can you fix with the public data? Because the number is so fake.
No, but can I give you a reason why public data shows up with that number?
Yeah.
The least amount of turnover in a neighborhood, your middle number is always going to be lower, because that public data is based off of the sales and transactions from the actual public recorded transaction office. So if there's like a refinance in the neighborhood and it's recorded on there, that's part of the public data stuff. That just means this is a low turnover neighborhood and there's not a ton of properties. If you go to a really hot neighborhood where there's tons of transactions, like in the middle of Village 1, these three numbers are going to be a lot closer because it's a lot easier to determine pricing. That's also when Zillow is going to be the most accurate. Part of when you have this big of a discrepancy, it's probably a very specific, not high turnover, good area, or it's out in the country.
Mm-hmm. And just as a disclaimer, we are showing where these estimates are coming from. So it's not just us putting that data. We're saying
Right.
this is a estimate from Zillow. This is powered by public data, and then this is from home evaluation.
And we could, if we change it, we can't put those things on there.
Yeah.
Because then it would no longer be from those companies.
Mm-hmm. There is a way, and when we get into the PMA, that you can add your own like
Pricing.
suggestion. So you can type that in, and then it says it's coming from you. Okay. So moving down where we were, so we have the price range, the number of bedrooms. It just lets you know where the most of the buyers are looking for. Underneath here, it gives you kind of a funnel of, this is all buyer activity within California. So, and then it starts narrowing it down based off of the homes criteria. So it starts at 48 million.
Yep.
48 million, and it goes down to 700,000 based off of the 5 mile radius, and then price range, and then number of bedrooms. Okay, so this is where I would say this is a cherry on top. This is what is going to just knock your sellers off their places, because this is really great stuff. Now there are 19 buyers in this area searching for this type of home, right?
Specifically registered to PMZ agents right now.
Exactly. So if you are using this at a listing appointment, you're going to say, okay, as soon as we have this, I can send out a coming soon email, and instantly it'll connect it to 19 buyers that we can contact like this instant, right? Letting them know that this home is coming on the market, right? Every seller wants to know if you can get their home sold, right? And how many people are interested. This is showing them that criteria.
Right. Like how many clients have said, well, do you have any buyers ready to go? Actually, yeah, we got 19. Sign here, press hard, 3 copies.
Here's the information. This is what they're searching for, right? So as a buyer, this is why it's really important to enter your buyers, because you'll get those coming soon, like we talked about. As a seller, it's important because the bigger the number, like the more impressive it is, right? And I would say, like, I went in here and this is the address I use most of every time I run this report, just to see like if I'm showing a new agent or if I'm doing some sort of training. And this is the highest number I've seen in a really long time. So it was really exciting. But what if we can double it, right? What if we can triple this number? What if I can go in here, like you go into a listing appointment and it has 60 buyers, right? and the buyers are out there. You're already working with them. It's just entering them into the into Buyside. Again, as a buyer's agent, this information, and we'll go more into it. It's as a, I won't be, if I'm the seller's agent, I can't contact your client directly. I have to go through you, right?
Right.
So
Your client's information is protected. It's your client, no one else's. They'll have to talk to you.
exactly.
Notice none of these are my clients.
Yeah, and then it'll say here, doesn't have anything. If you want to know more information, contact Nick, because he's going to be the one that will get you connected to those agents with those clients. And now we have supply trends, any nearby sales. These aren't comps, they're just anything that's in that area. And then again, it ends with contacting Nick and then receiving monthly updates on here. Okay, so now this is what is on like the consumer or your clients. This is what they'll be seeing, right? So now we're going to log into Buyside as an agent, and I'm in here as Nick. So you can see that Nick has a buyer here. Let me see if I can refresh this. So you have 2 evaluation attempts. You would have gotten an email saying you when one was ran. So if we click on here, we'll see the one that we just ran, which was this one. And then you had one that was ran on your, which I'm guessing this was you, Nick.
Yeah, I did it for our sales meeting.
Yeah. So then it'll have the address that they ran, and now it's gonna get, and notice I didn't put in any information. I didn't sign up for any monthly updates. I didn't claim the property, none of that. But it will still show the owner's name based off tax records, and you have the address, right? So what can you do with this information? You can go ahead and send them a letter, send them a postcard, say, hey, you know, someone ran a home valuation on this address on this date and time. If it was you, let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer anything. If it wasn't you, well, then that's great news. That means that someone's interested in potentially buying this home. If you're interested in selling, give me a call.
One of the things that I do, and when this has happened, I've done valuation sites for years. I always said to remove the pressure of sales, right? Because they don't want to be sold. If they're going there, they're most likely curious, right? Some random person most likely isn't entering their address on our valuation site. So we can reasonably assume it's the owner. So diffuse the situation right off the bat. Hey, I know you're probably not interested in selling yet. You're probably just curious. I'm not going to high pressure sales you. I've already established that by saying, I know you're probably not interested in selling yet. So now I'm going to say, but I'd love to give you any more information you're looking for. Is there anything specifically why you entered it? Right? Or don't be super aggressive at this point yet, because they haven't given you their name. They haven't given you an email address. They only were curious. So this is where you can come back more soft as like, hey, I know you're probably not interested in selling yet. Is there anything that I can help you out with? Are you interested in equity, refinancing, anything? Just let me know. I'd love to be able to help you. That earlier script that Alondra used on the sphere of influence that said, hey, you get your stock account update every single month. Your retirement accounts update you every single month. I'm willing to update you on the price of your home every single month. And then to the point earlier, they're disparaging. They're way far apart. And we'll show you in just a minute on how to get them more accurate.
Thank you. Okay, so is there any questions as far as getting those leads in here? Okay. So then I'm going to go ahead and quickly go into the BMA. If you want to access your home valuation site, you can go to the home valuation site here and click on Marketing Suite. And then it'll give you a preview. If you need to add it to your email signature, you can do it here, and then share. If you want to share it through social media here, I recommend you copy and paste the link directly into your social media. But once we do social media, we can kind of get into that some more. So let's go into the BMA. You're going to go ahead and enter the address. Here, if there's any data that you need to change on here, you can do it here. So this is where you can be strategic about this too. You can select which evaluations you want to use.
So you can take out public data here to if you don't want it in there.
Yeah, so you can just use those two, and then under here is where you can enter your own, right? So you can do 515 to 525, right? You can also skip that step. You don't need to, but this is where you would enter your own personal one. Then click next. This is where it'll tell you, based off that criteria alone, it'll narrow it down to 2 featured buyers. If we maybe go down below, that's where it should.
You'd have to go lower. 400s where we have a lot.
That's interesting. So I'll have to look into this some more because it should give us the 19 it promised us on the home valuation.
Well, that's because of we took out that middle number.
Oh, okay.
If
Yeah,
you put the
you're right.
267 in, it'll bring in all the people who are below 400, which is a lot.
Yeah, right. So then let's just keep it there. We'll go ahead and generate a PDF. Should take about 60 seconds or so, depending on your computer and internet.
It's making the magic happen. It even tells us.
If you have an iPad, this is something you can also run while you're in a listing presentation too. You're getting there. Okay. Very slow. And let this run for, oh, there we go.
It probably opened it up on another window you have to share with us.
Yeah, it's my computer's frozen right now, which is lovely.
Oh.
Do you guys have any questions right now? Anything that we can, as we wait for my computer to start working?
You did say that you guys are going to go over how to enter the buyer, right?
Yes, that's what I was trying to do next after this.
Oh, okay. All right. And then your computer froze.
Yay. Okay, let me stop my share. And then let me see if I can. So while we wait for my computer to restart again, Nick and I decided that we're going to be moving Tipsy Thursday to 11 o'clock moving forward. So our next one on the, what day is the next one? The 15th?
I think it's like the 19th,
The 19th. It'll be on
maybe the 20th.
no. Probably look at my calendar. It'll be on the
Sorry, 17th.
It'll start at 11 o'clock.
And we'll be talking about which team won the Super Bowl. I'm just kidding.
Okay, so browser started up again. Let's see.
All right. So while she's getting that going, who's going to send out a postcard of ads that I just talked about from like 10 minutes ago? All right. Got Maria. Lourdes, all right. It can't hurt, right? Right now, all marketing works. The market is amazing. Everybody wants to know. So why not just capitalize on it?
Well, I'm sending them because I had 2 new listings, but I want to send to, so can I put my own thing there, or is just?
Yeah. I mean, you can make your
already-
own. If you have 2 new coming soon listings, this is just a personal thing. Inside, and I covered this at the very end of the last Tipsy Thursday, you can go into our system and create your own QR code, generate your own QR code.
Yeah, I
So inside
remember that.
Buyside, when you have your
Yeah.
coming soon property, create a
Mhm.
QR code that links to it, send out a 5x8 white postcard with just the QR code in the middle, and on the top say, one of your neighbors is listing their house in the next 2 weeks. Scan this code to see who. I don't know about you, but I'm scanning that code to see which one of my neighbors is listing their house because I'm nosy like that, and I'm going to do it.
Oh, that's awesome. Kristen just shared in the chat that she sent out about 200 and she's already had 5 people who scanned the card. That's amazing.
That was one, the just list you just did, right, Kristen, that we talked about at the sales meeting?
Yeah, mine will be just list
Yep.
So,
So I,
so do,
obviously I brought this up at the sales meeting last week. We're doing it. And of the 200 cards, 5 came in. That's a phenomenal return on direct mail, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Usually you have to send out 1,000 cards to get one person to be a lead. Historically speaking.
People are.
I don't know why I did air quotes. It's fun. Who wants air quotes? Give them for everyone.
perfect.
Okay, so we're up and running again. This is what the BMA looks like, which is a buyer's market analysis. We have just a nice home on here, your contact information, the home's address, reasons why you want to list with PMC, real-time evaluations. I just ran them so I can get the report real quick. So here are the ones to be selected. If you entered any data for your own estimate, it would appear right there. Again, it kind of gives you a synopsis or just kind of like very similar to what the home valuation page report gives you. And then the funnel, the information on what they're looking for. Here's kind of like the 19 profiles that that we saw on there as well. And that's what the BMA will look like and how. So this is, again, if you want to use all these pages, if you want to just take one of those pages, I would say this one's probably one of the most important ones that you can take and add it to your listing presentation. So then moving forward, let's go ahead and enter buyers here. So let's go ahead and just click add buyer. So notice the more information, I'm going to kind of pick on Nick right now. So the more information.
Go ahead and edit Tristan if you'd like.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get it all done right. So if you'd like to, I'll do it.
So notice how he has, it's a 2-star. So they have a 4-star rating. The more information you enter, the higher rating the buyer will be rated. And then when listing agents see that, you know, they're going to think that's a much serious buyer. So then they're more likely to go with the 4-star than like the 1-star, etc. So if we go in here. This is all the information that Nick has entered. Can you go to edit profile?
I missed how you got to that, to where you can even enter the buyer.
So
My
go to
buyers.
my buyers at the top here, and you can click add buyer at this gold option here, or you can click into the gold is like a hyperlink, so you can click into the name, and then it will give you their profile.
Oh, duh. I was in the CRM. That's why. I was like, I don't see that. Okay, I got it.
This is within the Buyside.
And I actually, so sidebar for you, I originally entered Tristan into the CRM and said, create a profile form. So you can also do it that way. This is just a better way to make sure there's more stars. So I want to do this. So let's fix the issues. I want to do that.
Desired location, type of buyer. So let's go ahead and fix issues. So desired location.
Would that be up at the top at the city locations? He's really looking for Modesto, but the surrounding areas all the way through Ripon.
So why can I see that? Oh, cities up here.
Yep.
So this is where you would enter the, those zip codes, right?
Or just put in Modesto. That'll work. Select all. Oh, yeah. He's not particular.
So, okay, so we'll do select all.
And then he'll do Riverbank as well and Ripon.
Belongs to number 2. You can put number 8.
And then you said Ripon.
Yeah, probably Escalon, but we can stop there.
Okay, so we've added those cities, and then what was the second one? The type of buyer, right?
Yeah.
Property type, or is it different?
Qualification, he's pre-qualified.
Pre-qualified.
Yep. Aaron McKeon.
That how we spell
I think so.
it? Okay. And then type of buyer here, is it a first-time buyer, owner?
Owner doesn't need to sell first, but will if the $1 million one he's going to sell first for under 800 grand, he won't.
Okay, so we can do these two. So I
Yeah.
guess we can select more than those two.
He's conventional financing.
Conventional financing. So then here,
Alert me. Yeah.
so this is where you can say, send new alerts when a new so you can sign them up to receive those coming soons too. You have it as do not alert me, which is perfect. If you wanted, you can.
Oh, you can alert me and CC the client. He's good with it. He loves it.
So then it'll CC, it'll alert the client, and then it will CC Nick. So here is where I feel like people lose interest. Like, okay, contact information. We do not require any of this contact information. You can type in a nickname. You can type in. You don't have to type in an email. None of that information is required, right? So if you just want to do first name, last name, give them a nickname, whatever works for you, that's all you can enter. No one's going to see that information regardless. So this is just for you. But if you're still a little hesitant, go ahead and just enter some sort of nickname if that's going to make you feel better, as long as
So
it has that profile on there.
Can you update the buyer and then we can show Marie how the stars change based on us updating him?
Yeah. So adding public comments. So it says if you can add public comments, we're not going to do it, but it'll increase it by 63. So now we had 2. So
Oh, is he ready to buy? Yes. Oh, he has a contingency. That's why it says no.
Okay.
Right.
So then if we wanted to add public comments, this is where maybe Nick, you can go back in here and add those comments, like where depending on the home price, he's ready to sell or not.
Yeah.
And once you've already added that buyer under here, it's going to tell you these are different coming soons that have been that have gone on the market that are, essentially could be what they're looking for. So here's where you can contact the agent. And then it'll give you the MLS ID. So these are actually already active. If they weren't, it'll have some more information. If it'll have the coming soon on there.
Yep.
Okay. So let's go back into my buyers and let's go ahead and click add buyer. So again, you can enter as much information or as little information on here. Obviously, the more information, the higher star rating you're going to get. Here's where the public comments go. So you can write any notes on there. And then again, you can do not alert. And then you can just give them seriously, if it was going to be Nick camera, maybe we can just do in camera so that I know who it is.
Weird guy that needs a haircut.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can click add buyer, and then, but that's just for your record too. So we don't have access to this. No other agents will have access to this. This is just for on your end. I know this is where a lot of people are hesitant, so I just really want to make sure that everybody understands that. I think at the most you just have to enter some sort of name and or nickname or something, and then you can go ahead and add the buyer.
Maria, did we answer your question about the stars?
Yes, I have
Okay.
another question. Actually, I was typing. So how this, if I enter my buyers, who's gonna see this? Is this the agents that put their coming soon listings, or the agent that just see Buyside?
Nothing. The other agents. So for example, this is my page. So you can see everything of my client. If you had a listing that Tristan qualified for, where Alondra had all those listings, you will only see as a listing agent buyer ID number 647830. In order for you to contact, you have to email me and I could decide whether or not that's going to work for my client. So you are the only one who can see all this, no one else. So you're inside my profile. These are all the things for my people. No one else can see what I put here. So if I put in there the school districts of say Sylvan, Stanislaus, and Modesto City, you would only see that my person qualified. You wouldn't see all 3 school districts. You'd have to call and ask. Does that make sense? No one else can see your stuff. This is private to you.
It'll give you basic, so when we were on the home valuation page, so you see how it says buyer ID, it'll have a buyer, it'll have what they're searching up. So up to 360, 3 beds. So it'll have basic information, general information like that. It does not have any personal contact information.
Yeah, but I had to go into Nick's website to see this.
No.
This is
If
on
you enter something into your home valuation site, if you do for your listing or your clients, these numbers will show up of all the buyers in the system of how many people would qualify for that house. This is why it's
Okay.
important for all of us to use this.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry about
You're
that.
welcome.
Oh, no,
Do
you're
you still have a
fine.
question, Stephanie? Or are you just raising your hand because you love us? Guess not.
Okay. If there are any other questions regarding buyers, how to create them? Everybody feel comfortable entering their buyers?
We'd love to cover more of this. This is like a powerful technology, and the sheer size of our company makes this even better than anybody else could ever possibly want it to be.
Mhm.
So by the way, I entered Tristan, the guy that you guys all saw there. I entered him through the CRM and imported over. That's why he only had 2 stars. So Alondra actually helped me make him more qualified. And he emailed me some properties he found from the search I put up on the CRM. That's why it was a custom Polygon search
Oh, that's
about
awesome.
a property he wanted to see. So
Yeah.
there is power behind this system.
Yeah, and this works, it'll import those buyers from the CRM on here, so you can use both. Stuff. Okay. Awesome. Any other questions? I know we went a little bit over, but I just think that's really important that everybody knows and understands the site perfectly or good, so that you guys can start utilizing it, because this only works if you guys work it, right? So if you guys are entering the buyers, that's where it works on the listing side. If you're entering the coming soons, that's where it works for the buyers. So the more
Well, and in this market,
yeah,
how hard is it to get buyers to understand that there is still value? Imagine telling them, hey, I can give you access to a lot of PMZ listings before everybody else. There's 700 agents at PMZ, and I can help get you their listings before anyone else. That's a great open house line for those of you who are going to do them. Kristen, wink, wink on Friday. They walk in and say, look, I know that you probably just trust real estate agents. I don't like them either. That being said, what if I could give you access to every single PMZ listing before it hits the market?
I'm sold. Especially in
Yeah,
this market.
Alondra, I got a
I'm sold.
contract for you to
Let's
sign.
go.
I'm going to get you in Viator. Keep writing it down.
Yeah, so definitely great tools that you guys can use to advantage and help them, secure those listings, secure those buyers. Close those deals quicker too. Awesome. Well, is there any other questions? If not, we'll let you guys go. Just remember that next Tipsy Thursday will be on the 17th, and it'll start at 11 a.m.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Thank you.